watching the Potsy and Tino show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Pots and Pans Network brings you its tag team champions of the world, the Road Dogg Tino Gray, the badass Rob Potsy Podcheck. That's right, the Potsy and Tino Show. Our theme song is brought to you by Adam's House Cats, called The Wrestling Song. It's available for 99 Jones.
99.
What are you doing?
I was trying to point. I can't remember which way to point, so I'm pointing at you.
Oh.
Okay. That's,
Yeah, it's
yeah. I can never remember.
Anyways, Tino, we always start the show with a little segment called What's Up With You. As soon as you and I are done talking about what's up with us, we're going to bring in a special guest who was at WrestleCade this weekend, so he gets to talk about that with us. But before we get there, what's up with you?
Well, when we left last week, I was leaving to go to Florida to go to Orlando to see Haley for Thanksgiving. So we left Tuesday. When Nicole got off work, we drove about 4.5 hours, almost 5. Stopped over in Savannah, Georgia, stayed the night, got up, drove another 4.5 to get to Haley. In Orlando, we got there about 2. She let us rest all of 30 to 45 minutes and it's up. Then we're going to outlets. And then we went to her work and had dinner. Then we went to Disney Springs, which was cool. Then Thanksgiving, we got up, we just chilled and cooked and ate. Friday, she wanted to get up and go Black Friday shopping. Her and AJ did get up like at 4. Me and Nicole said, "Fuck you," and so they got up and went. We left and we left the house. She came back. She went back to sleep. We got up. We left about 2, and we hit a couple of outlets. Got some really good deals. Had lunch, dinner, just chilled out all day. Came home and then got up Saturday and hit Disney, hit the parks.
And you went
Spent all day at
to
the park.
you went to Magic Kingdom.
We went to Magic. We started at Epcot, went to Magic, and just had a blast. We were going to ride the Guardian of the Galaxy, but they're still on the virtual queue, and that thing was like the next time, because by the time we got there, the next time you could try to get on was 1 o'clock. So we got on, and they're like, yeah, it was like a 5, 6 hour wait. And like, dude, we'll be here all day. So we're like, fuck that. We just didn't ride it. We just hung out, did everything we want to do in Epcot, then we went over to Magic.
And then you made the 10.5 hour trek back
On Sunday, yes.
Yeah. How was traffic?
Leaving like the first 45 minutes sucked. 45 minutes to an hour. Then I stopped, got gas, and got on, and it went a little way, and then it sucked again. So probably about the third hour, it finally opened up once we got on 95 real good, and just it was smooth sailing. I was listening to podcasts, and then I put on the listened to it before, one of Jericho's audio books, and just listened to that. I just drove.
I'm getting to that age where I don't like making those drives anymore.
I didn't really when I was. It's fun. I was telling Nicole when I was younger, I used to hate those drives. That one I didn't really. I was like, all right, I did the whole thing. She slept because she wasn't feeling well, and so she slept and I drove and I was fine.
Well, like I hate standstill traffic. Like hate it. So like I start getting road ragey like as soon as I see like the brake lights and you're like, there's nothing the fuck going on up there. Why are you braking? You know what I mean? Like and maybe you've noticed this, I don't know, but like, is it just me or do motherfuckers not get out of the fast lane anymore?
That's what Nicole was complaining about.
Like, not at all. They'll just sit in that left lane and be like, I don't care if I'm doing 12 miles an hour under the speed limit. Like, what the fuck is going on with them? Anyways, so I'm beginning to think I'm going to start taking Amtrak because it'd take about the same amount of time to get somewhere, but I don't have to drive.
Yeah. We thought about taking the train down to Orlando, but we couldn't find anything. It was by the time we said, "Oh, let's do that," it was too late. We couldn't find anything. Yeah. But next time, taking the train. So got back today, dropped my truck off at the shop just now before we got on here to get that thermostat, hopefully get that taken care of, and then this weekend. Friday, I leave to go to Hickory. Friday, Saturday, come back Sunday, and we get our Christmas tree. I'm excited about. 'Cause usually we get it the day after Thanksgiving, but we were out of town, so we'll get that next Sunday, and then the next Saturday is our Christmas party. So pretty eventful 3 weeks. Last week, this week's kind of, and then
Yeah, I was telling Tino off the air, folks, that my buddy Mark was like, "When's Tino's Christmas party? I want to go." He may still, because he might not go to Fayetteville with me. But so what's going on with me? Just so you know, next Wednesday, so not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, I have a new little book coming out, Tino,
oh yeah, Die Hard.
called Died Hard, and this is my normal cover. So this is the Easter Bunny just being the Easter Bunny, but I also have both holofoils and metal covers of my cover, and they are splattered in blood.
Awesome. That looks cool.
It's pretty neat, right? But that's not all. So that the metal cover for mine is, the shops had to order 75 copies to get one.
Mm.
So 75 copies a shop had to order to get that. But then we also have the regular metal cover, which is by artist of the series Jay Hammond. This one's $100.
Is that the regular cover, or is that the
This is the metal, but
metal.
this is the regular cover too. Like, you can buy his cover like this, and that's the A cover. Looks like an old poster. It actually says on it, "With Easter so close, he thought a vacation was in order. Little did he know." And then it says, "Peter Cottontail is died hard." So it's like the old Steven Seagal movies.
That's funny. That's funny.
Then we have, because I'm doing a signing, so all of those will be available in stores December 12th or December 11th, which is Wednesday next week. But then we have this one, which is the metal cover
For the band.
for Fear State. This is my copy of it, but it actually says "Died Hard" is not an Easter movie.
That's funny.
On the back of it, it has the Fear State logo as well as the comic shop logo from them, and so we're going to be doing. I've been telling you we're going to be doing the signing at both their shop on Saturday, the 14th, and then after that, I'll be going down. What's up, Chris Barrett? Rob Jones, Tino Jones. I'll be doing the signing at Fight or Flight Comics in Triangle Town Center Mall on Wednesday from like 11 to 4. So anybody that wants to be able to get a copy of Died Hard #1 in Raleigh, that's probably the easiest and quickest way to get one. Because he went all out. He bought enough to get multiple copies of the 75 incentive cover. So people can get whatever they're looking for with that. If you're in Fayetteville, North Carolina, I will be at Dragon's Lair on Saturday, basically 11 to 3:30, I believe is the time frame for that one. And then at the White Rabbit, which I still think is funny that I've got the White Rabbit covers here. The White Rabbit, I'll be there from 8 until 9 doing a signing with the band for it there. So that's what's going on there. The other stuff that's been going on with me, had Thanksgiving dinner with the family. Had a bunch of people, over at my sister's house. All had to bring, a dish or whatever. So we all did that. It was probably the best home cooked turkey that I've had.
So who made it?
My sister Shorty.
Okay.
But it like home cooked turkey, it was probably the best I ever had. Now, I've never had the deep fried turkey that people keep talking about because we don't want to explode the house.
It's good.
I bet it is. I mean, I like deep fried everything. So, like you could probably make deep fried socks and I'd figure out a way to eat them. But no, I'm kidding. I wouldn't really do that. I really wouldn't do that. But yeah, so we had the turkey dinner there. Then Friday, my brother-in-law was like, "Hey, are you off work?" And I was like, "Yeah." So me, him, and our friend Fubar all went to a tap room for a couple hours.
Where?
Had some, right where I'm trying to think of the easiest way to put it. So you know where Woodcroft is in Durham?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like where the Roses was, right near like 54 and where 40 is. So it's like right in that area. So we went over there. It was called like Beartooth or something. I don't know. But yeah, so we did that. Saturday, watched football, and college football has been crazy this year. So I won't even get into it. My team's in the playoffs, so I'm happy. And then Sunday, Sunday we went out to the Angus barn for my nephew Drew's birthday, because that's where he wanted to go. So we all went over there, and like him and I shared the Chateaubriand. So they bring it out like cut down already tenderloin for you. You get like 3 pieces of it, then you get your 2 sides and everything. Dude, it was incredible. Like it was incredible. Like it probably not as good as my birthday prime rib at the Peddler last year, but probably the best steak I've had at the Angus barn. So I was very pleased with that. Shane was not pleased with his. He sent it back, and it took them so long to come back to take it away that he was like, I don't want another one. Don't bring me another steak.
Wow, were they busy?
I don't know if they were busy. Well, yes, at Christmas time they're always busy, but it was just Chris Barrett just always Chateaubriand is a wine. So
that's what I thought too at first. That's what I was like.
So they give you like a dipping sauce that is made with like a port wine. So it's but it's one of my favorite cuts of meat. So anyways, and then today I was off. So I did some laundry, went to the comic book shop for the first time in like 3 weeks, and then was just stupid lazy for the rest of the day. What's up, Mr. Helios? So I wrote trivia for my trivia game this week, and that's really all I did today. And I feel like I really let down my after, like, what I could have done, because I ended up watching Transformers 1, the newest one that they did of that. I watched the first 2 episodes of the new Showtime show called The Agency, which we'll talk a little bit about, and then I watched A Christmas Story, because it's that time of year you got to watch a Christmas movie like almost every day. So we're gonna invite on our special guest. We've had him on the show in the past. You all might remember him. It's our buddy Blitzball Champ. He's gonna tell us what's up with him, because he had quite a bit going on this weekend, Tino. So let's welcome on Blitzball Champ. How you doing?
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for having me.
He's doing a Shinsuke Nakamura, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what that was. Yeah.
But thanks for having me.
All right.
Yeah.
What's going on with you?
So tell us what you are up to, because you had 2 things you specifically said you wanted to speak about.
Yeah, 2 major things. First, starting off, I attended WrestleCade 2024 this past weekend in Winston-Salem, North Carolina at the Benton Convention Center, which I believe this marks my 5th WrestleCade that I've attended. Another great year, another great turnout. Did a good handful of meet and greets. Got to meet Bull Nakano, Tony Storm, Mina Shirakawa, the Steiner brothers, the Dudley boys. They were really cool.
I didn't even know the Dudley boys were going to be there.
Yeah, they were actually one of the first guests announced, like one of the first few guests announced. Met Xia Li, now Yiling Yi in TNA. Met Gail.
Xia.
Oh, I knew she was Xia Li. I didn't know she was Ming 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 whatever.
Which she just officially signed with TNA Wrestling. Met Gail Kim for the 3rd time, and
she probably thinks you're stalking her at this point, Jason.
Hey, she gave me a hug and made me melt. So that was quite a
That was
highlight.
that was
That's a
called
word for it.
that was called a sleeper hold.
What's that?
Something melted. That's what you felt like it.
Wow. But yeah, that was really cool meeting her. And let's see.
How was the wrestling at the event?
Ow.
The wrestling was great. They did TNA Turning Point on Friday, so that was pretty decent show. I got to sit next to the barricade near the entrance, so up close to the entrance, so that was really cool.
Kind of like where we met last time.
Yeah, very similar. Um, of course, the WrestleCade Super Show was really good as well, and I think overall the wrestlers that had the longest lines, Sting and Darby Allin, Ric Flair, Lita, which I did meet Lita, the Hardy Boys. I think ultimately the Hardy Boys had the longest line overall.
Well, I guess that's probably because most people think that the only way you're going to meet them again is if you're at like a Fanatics Fest or something, because there's rumors of where they're headed to, probably to finish their careers.
Which is a good point. And I didn't have a run in with a thief this time, so I was happy about that. But
I saw you met Joe Hendry. Was his line not long?
That was going to be the person I was
oh
going to
yeah,
mention.
oh yes, no, his line wasn't long.
Wow.
For those that had the titanium add-on for the TNA Turning Point show, got early access to the meet and greet. So I was one of those. So I got to meet him early, and nah, he didn't have a line at the time, so it was actually really cool. But yeah, another great year at WrestleCade. And then secondly, the main event of news for me, I will be going to Japan December
Nice.
27th through January 7th.
So have you never? Is this your first time?
First time ever in Japan,
Nice.
first time ever out of the country. So I've been wanting to go since middle school, and I felt like, I'm 40 years old. It's time. I probably
Cool.
waited way longer than I thought, but thankfully took a step of faith, went for it. Bought the vacation package back in August. It's flight hotel combo, really good. And yeah, I'll be staying in Tokyo my entire time there. Not only will I be doing a little bit of exploring, but I will be attending a good handful of pro wrestling shows in Japan.
That's awesome. Wow.
So
Tino, I got a joke here because when Jason said he wanted to be on the show, I thought he was going to gift us tickets to Japan.
I did too.
wow. I mean, I wish I had it like that. I wish y'all could come with me. Shoot, it's not too late.
So you
It's
said
too
December
late.
20. Yeah.
Yeah,
27th through what?
through January 7th.
See,
Wow.
this is what Tino always says to me when I say something like, "We're going to WrestleMania this year," right? He says to me this every single time. He goes, "Bitch, I got a family."
So Rob
And
could
he
go
says it
easier
just
probably
like that. Because he gets angry about me asking him, and he's like, "Bitch, I got a family."
No, because I'm like, nah, after thinking about it, oh, we could do it, we can do it. And then I get mad because Rob ain't got nobody else to worry about or concern himself with but Rob. I got a wife, kids, and tell my wife that, yeah, I'm going and you stay here. Yeah. Then I'll be sitting up there with Rob, divorced. I'll be
Wow.
moving with Rob.
Be allowed to go to all the shows you want. Then you got to look at the bright side, Tino.
That's not the bright
Yeah.
side.
But for those that are ever interested in going to Japan to check out some pro wrestling shows, your go-to spot, buysumotickets.com. That's buysumotickets.com. They're a third-party ticket purchasing site. That's where I got pretty much all of my tickets from, with the exception of Actress Girls, Wrestle Kingdom, and Wrestle Dynasty, which I will pick up in Japan. But Really easy, really simple site to use if you're ever interested in checking out some pro wrestling live in Japan. And
That's
one,
Hold
awesome.
on, Jason. I do want to say that we do not endorse buysumotickets.com because in case anybody has any issues not getting their tickets or whatever, we don't want that being associated with the Potsy and Tino show in any way. But it's cool to hear that you actually not only ordered your tickets, but they did arrive. You've got all but 3 of them right now, right?
yes,
So
that's correct.
All right.
The others I pick up in Japan because I got them from their sites.
Nice.
And one was actually reserved through a pro wrestler.
So are you doing Wrestle Kingdom?
Yes. I'm doing Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty. Yes.
Nice.
And one last piece of bonus news, I will be going to Vegas in April.
Well, depending on my employment situation, that is the plan for me too. So,
Like Jason, how you going for all, or you going for night 1, night 2? What are you going for?
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it'll be for WrestleMania because tickets are insanely expensive. But TJPW will be out there. Marigold will have their first US show there as well. So I'll be there from April 14th to April 22nd.
nice.
And that's what's up with me.
All right, Tino. We're moving on. We'll stay off wrestling for just a little bit longer.
Did you see my text that I sent you? Because something hit me. So Superman and Lois. So we saw that last week. Lex got the suit from Irons. We saw Clark trying to train the boys and realizing that they couldn't handle it, but he did make a good point. If they worked together, they could do it. But I asked you a question at the end of the episode. They brought back um,
Doomsday.
Doomsday. Do you think they could use Doomsday's heart? Remember we talked about because we didn't think he killed Superman's heart, right? But what if we use Doomsday's heart? Would that work the same? You said probably not because it's backwards.
And that's what my feelings would be on it. Is it strong enough? Absolutely, because obviously every time they kill Doomsday, it gets even stronger, right? So that whole theory, it's a good theory. It's just he's backwards Clark, so I don't know if the physiology would be able to work. And Jason, just so you know, the way that Superman and Lois did it, if you don't watch the show, is in like the first episode of this season. Doomsday ripped Superman's heart out of his chest.
Dang.
And
Mm-hmm.
and then after that, Lex Luthor got his hands on Superman's heart, and we're led to believe that Lex has actually destroyed the heart at this point.
Like he stepped on it, squished it.
And another part of it is that there was a Bizarro Superman, so a backwards Superman, and Lex was able to basically keep killing him, and he would keep coming back, and he would just get more and more ugly until he was Doomsday. So that's how they got Doomsday in this world.
And right now, Superman is living off of Lois's dad's heart because he sacrificed himself, and then they put his heart into Superman, and it worked for a while. But then you got a 60-year-old heart, human heart in him. Then it's kind of now he's losing his powers, and eventually he's going to age, and he's becoming human.
They injected the heart with Superman's blood and everything, so it actually got super powered. But now it's starting to wear down. So it makes this Superman vulnerable, which I love in the series, especially since both of his sons have his same powers. So it's
But also, and they're half human, which is why I couldn't. He was like, well, his mom's like, well, they're half human, so that's why they can't really be him. They can't be Superman. They have weaknesses.
So in the comics, they've always wondered whether or not the half Superman, half Lois son, John, in the comics is going to be more or less powerful. and they haven't been able to figure it out. But there's also there was a clone that was half the DNA of Clark and half the DNA of Lex, and that's Connor Kent, and he has all the powers that Superman has, but then he has other powers too. So like he's one that they've always wondered, is he even more powerful? So it's always been interesting. But I had been saying all season long that I think that Lex actually kept Superman's heart, and he's going to power his power suit with it. We haven't seen that yet, but
they were saying they're going to power it with kryptonite.
Yeah, so who knows? So I mean, but this is the series finale happening tonight, same time that the first half hour of Monday Night Raw is commercial free. But like when I get off of here, I'm probably going to watch Superman and Lois before I watch Raw, just because like I've been invested in the series since the beginning. Tino, any other shows you've been watching?
No.
Well, no, you were gone for a whole week, so you didn't have a lot of time. Didn't have a lot of time. So I watched this new show that's on Paramount Plus on the Showtime side of it called The Agency. It's Michael Fassbender, Richard Gere, Jeffrey Wright. I mean, the casting is great. Apparently, George Clooney is one of the executive producers of the show, and it's basically like they're CIA agents that are stationed in like London, so they have to deal with all of the rest of the world issues that the CIA takes care of, and it's 2 episodes in. It's been pretty darn good. So I watched that, and I've watched this. Either of you ever watched Yellowstone? No, the Kevin Costner show. So the guy that does that one also does Tulsa King, and he does a bunch of other shows now. And so he has this new one out called Landman that has Billy Bob Thornton as the main character. And Billy Bob Thornton is the exact Billy Bob Thornton that you expect him to be in terms of like how he talks to people. Like the Bad Santa version of him. It's so good.
Oh, damn.
And it's got Ali Larter from Heroes in it. The blonde chick from Heroes is in there. And now she's an age-appropriate woman who still looks like a 27-year-old. So it's got all different sides of things but he is really, really good at it. And John Hamm's in it as well. So I watched that too. And then I've been really, really liking, and I know that Found just had its mid-season finale, but The Irrational came back last week, Tino, and so did the that doctor one that's on the same night as The Irrational. Brilliant Minds. That one had another episode, and this episode they did was all about like an artist who had a car accident, and then all of a sudden didn't even go colorblind. He went completely black and white with his vision.
Oh, damn.
So imagine a painter not being able to paint because he can't distinguish what color gray is what, right? So that was a really good episode. Yeah, because so that shows a lot like House, where they try all the different medications, and sometimes they use like psychedelics. So I don't even know if Jason realizes how loud that is.
Oh, my bad.
Like when you're clicking on your pens, Tino.
Yeah, but that one's like right there in his microphone.
I should have totally muted. That's on me.
You're fine, dude. You're fine. So, all right. That's about all that's going on with TV shows right now. Obviously, Monday Night Raw is happening right now. They did announce some stuff going on with that, but we've got other topics that we want to talk about with pro wrestling. First, let's talk about this one first because it's probably the most recent in everyone's minds. I think I've got it pulled up already, Tino. Let me see if it's actually still pulled up. Let me see if it's still pulled up. Full Survivor Series results from WWE's own website. So here we go. We started with the Women's War Game match, gentlemen. We had Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Bayley, Naomi, and Io Sky defeating Liv Morgan, Nia Jax, Raquel Rodriguez, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae.
The only It was an excellent match. It was kind of clunky in the middle, uh, like spots where you could tell where they didn't really go. The only problem, which was I was fine about that. The only problem I had with it is we all know that Rhea's going to get her shot back, right, at the title. But if Io Sky is the number one contender, she should have been stronger in that match, kind of. You know what I mean? They let Rhea pin
Well,
Liv.
that could be the Rhea finally ending her feud with Liv right there for the time being. And I think that's
I
what
don't.
that I think that's
I
what
don't
that
think.
plan was, especially if you watch the post show. Because in the post show, Rhea actually sat there and said, I know that Io's the number one contender, and I'm hoping she actually beats the hell out of Liv. You know, and I think what it allows
Okay.
what I think it allows Rhea to do is move on to a Raquel Rodriguez, who she's the one that handcuffed her to the ropes and everything else, so that could start another feud between them. And I think that if you look at a lot of the Triple H booking recently, he is taking his favorites that he had in NXT and he's putting them in very big spots again, which I think is why a Raquel Rodriguez instantly got put back with Judgment Day, because the last time we saw her, I think she was a babyface,
Mhm.
you know,
Yes.
and now she comes in as a heel. Now, granted, she's looked sloppier than Nia Jax in Nia Jax's first run since coming back, if you ask me. But you know, it is what it is. They're gonna do what they're gonna do with her. They see something in her. I mean, she's a good sized woman that you know isn't hard on the eyes, but
And her
she's clunky
boyfriend,
as hell.
her boyfriend is a monster among men.
Right, but she is clunky as hell.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot of people saying that this was a bad performance by Nia Jax. There were
I don't
some
think.
areas where her swinging a chair, like it looked bad, but otherwise I felt like she looked okay in the match.
I've
I,
seen
was-
worse
I
from
would say,
her.
I would say she looks more like she's trying to take it easy because in some of those when the people were down and she was swinging, you could tell she was trying not to hit
Yeah.
people. You could tell she wasn't. I'm like, she didn't hit her that hard, but I get why she did it. She's trying to be careful. So
Correct.
I think if she can be careful and not make it obvious, it'd be better. At least she's trying not to hurt people now. And I
No,
give her. I thought.
yeah, I'll give you that, and I agree with you. I feel like that's a firm thing from her is that she looks like she's trying to protect people, especially when she's got the foreign objects in her hands. You
Mhm.
know, like she still doesn't take it as easy when she's doing that drop off the ropes, but
She's holding on more now, though. She didn't let go. Like she hadn't let go of the rope since she squashed
True.
Ira.
True.
She's been holding on.
yeah. Now I liked the tease from Tiffany Stratton when she pulled the Money in the Bank out of the garbage can. I thought
Right.
it was a great spot, but I am tired of the tease at this point. Like, what the only reason why I like it in this situation is because it's like, which one is she going for? Because they're both knocked out at that point, you know, and they're
Right.
both on the ground, and then Raquel's the one that looks over and goes, oh, "What are you doing? Like, you can't no, you know?" And it's like. And then she's like, no, I wasn't really trying to do it.
I don't think she's had enough. Remember, I told you it's gonna go to that. No, Nia's gonna push her and push her and push her,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
she's finally gonna snap. I don't think she's. I think it's gonna come down to Nia is going to pick um Candice LeRae over her, and she's gonna get and that's what's gonna make her realize
Well, they said on the
she's
post
not
show
much.
as well, like when they were talking to Wade Barrett and Big E and Jackie Redmond, they were saying, "Did you hear the pop that Tiffany got by coming
Uh-huh.
out?" And internationally,
It's coming.
she is like I hate taking LA Knight's nickname here, but she is a megastar. Like, and she is going to be a multi-time champion unless they try to push her into movies or something, which they very well could. Because I mean, like, she's got the look. They could try to do that with her. So,
I think
so
one of my
so
favorite parts of that match is when Io did her flips and then Mandy did it. I'm not Mandy. I call her Mandy. I'm thinking Mandy Rose. And then she did her. She goes, I can do it too. I was like, oh shit.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
when she did the actual flips, I did like that. When
yeah.
I
The cartwheel flip.
I didn't need the garbage can spot off the top
No,
of the
no,
cage.
no, 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 no. I'm talking about when they were
Oh,
in the ring and they were countering each other.
yeah,
But
And she said,
that's her spot though. That's become her spot
yeah,
though.
yeah. But it's like the Kofi Kingston being able to maintain himself in the Rumble by just having his hands hit the ground or whatever. Like I'm tired of it.
still cool.
We fought for 15 years. It was nice watching Kofi screw it up once.
Not to mention, she did the moonsault with the trash can on this time. It wasn't just a regular dive. Not to mention, at the same time, Tiffany did a swanton off the top of the cage. Like,
If it was one of his favorite wrestlers doing their moves over and over, he'd be fine with it.
No, because I'm going to tell you the reason why I didn't like the two moves specifically is because it became one of those moves where everyone else in the ring was just holding on to each other and looking up at them and just looking, and then it's like, okay, here they come, and it's like it's finally over. You know, like I hate that spot because it's when wrestling looks as fake as it ever does. Is when you've got the 8 guys all standing outside the ring, and then they all look up at the same time to watch that one guy come and crash them all down. Like, why are they still standing there? Nobody's throwing punches. Nobody's doing anything. They're just. But anyways, did the right team go over?
honestly, I felt like it could have gone either way. I mean, I know Rhea's team had the advantage. Um, I personally felt like it could have gone either way, but of course, I was rooting for Team Rhea. But I think it does kind of, set things up.
Well, I think the right team won if you're right about them sewing a button on the Rhea Liv thing because Rhea and
Mhm.
because Liv and Raquel are the reason why she's got that damn mask on her face. So
Right.
if they're ending that for now, that was her getting her comeuppance and then rolling on to the next one. So the right team went over if that's what they're doing.
Okay, and you know what? I like that reasoning. I'll move on to the next match.
Okay.
United States Championship match. LA Knight beats the Shinsuke Nakataker.
Shinsuke, that was a good match, and I think the right person went over. I think because they screwed up Nakamura's push so bad the last time he was in.
Mm.
I think if they want to keep him looking strong and give LA Knight uh, back in chase mode, I think that'll be a good opponent for him. Because I don't want to say LA Knight's because he's not great. He's good, but I think he can get even better working with the Shinsuke Nakamura.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I felt like these two did not really have that like rapport with each other in the ring like you would hope that two veterans with as much time in the ring as they've had. Because the match to me, like it felt like it ended suddenly. You know, like it felt like someone said, cut 5 minutes off the match. You know? So
Interesting. Hmm.
and
I
the
like.
commentary team kept saying that LA Knight looked out of sorts.
Almost want to wonder, but right toward before the end of that match, he got dropped on when Shinsuke dropped him on his head in between. I almost wonder if he got not loopy.
And
You know what I
very
mean?
well possible.
Yeah, my main complaint was, I mean, it was just under 10 minutes. I really felt like it should have gone over 10 minutes. Um,
On a PLE that's only going 2.5 hours, like it can go 3, you know? Like
yeah.
I
give them
think,
20 minutes.
I think that's what happened. I honestly think that's what happened.
Now we never saw this or anything else, but you very well could be right. And I didn't even think about that, but yeah, it does sound like they probably said, okay, go home, because they were worried about him. Because I mean, he's a 20-year veteran. He's gonna sit there and say, no, I can go. And a lot of those referees now are just told, no, cut it.
Because
If
think about it.
they think it's concussion based, they end it. If you have like like, a torn quad or a torn tricep or something like that, they'll let you try to go until you can't. But if it's a head injury, they normally shut it down. So you might be right, Tino.
Yeah, that's a fair point. As far as Shinsuke winning, I mean, I was kind of on the fence about it because part of me was thinking that LA Knight didn't have the title too long, but Tino, you make a really good point on Nakamura's previous push being really lackluster, and now that he's back and changed to his theme and the new look. Thankfully, it didn't feel like a squash because I was a little afraid that it could have been that. But
See,
thankfully,
it did feel more like a squash to me. But again, if the match got cut short, that's why. Like, because it ended abruptly.
yeah, which that's a good point. That is a good point. But Shinsuke, now a 3-time United States champion, and shout out to him. I will be seeing him live at the Noah the New Year show, by the way. Just had to throw that in.
And he may actually be carrying the WWE United States Championship to it.
Which would be cool.
Which
yeah.
Which nowadays, well, a lot of times when WWE guys show up elsewhere, they're not allowed to bring the hardware. But ever since Logan Paul had the United States title and he didn't show up, and he would just show up everywhere else with the title, I think you will see him. And wouldn't it be interesting if WWE actually allows his match at the Pro Wrestling Noah show to be a United States titles match?
Ooh, that'd be neat. That'd be
really now that we've had WWE titles actually defended on on TNA shows, what's stopping it?
Yep. That's true. Because you had the tag titles. Yeah, good call.
Mm-hmm. Next matchup, Intercontinental Championship match. Braun Breaker defeats Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser.
I knew Sheamus wasn't going to win that match, but I thought for damn sure Ludwig win. I thought Kaiser was going to sneak out.
They really teased that Ludwig win when he pulled that referee out of the ring, and Sheamus was just staring at him like, "What are you doing?" Like they definitely teased that Ludwig win. And then Braun Breaker came out of nowhere, and Corey Graves gave one of your typical lines, Tino. Where the fuck did Breaker come from?
He did, because he came out of nowhere and speared him. I was like, where? Like off camera, you just see him. That's all you saw.
And it was a high spear. It wasn't it was up here. Like he went right for the head with it. It was that one was a violent one. But the one that finally won the match when he dove over Sheamus into with the spear into Ludwig Kaiser, I thought that was a very, very primed finish. I thought that was good.
Yeah.
Agreed. But then when the spear he hit on Sheamus, it wasn't hard. He didn't it had that power, that oomph to it, like the one he just hit Kaiser with.
Well, I wonder if that's because Sheamus is 280 pounds.
That, and he just got the crap beat out of him with the shillelagh. Like there's no way you could fake that. No. He beat the snot out of him with. I mean, he hit him so hard. You see, part of the shillelagh broke off when they're outside the ring. You see him. And so I wonder if Braun was like, I'm not going to spear you as hard.
When you go into a match, when you go into a meeting with Triple H and he goes, hey, you know how you get really over in this company? We put you in a match against Sheamus, or we put you in a match against Gunther. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, you get the beats of the Balfrey and everything, and it's like you just look at them and you got to imagine his chest is all beat up at that point. He doesn't want to spear anybody with that chest. That's going to hurt him.
Yeah.
In fact, that would be, and I'm surprised they haven't done it. That would be, how they always do he can't lift him up with his arm kind of thing because he's been beating down his arm the entire. What if that was the ultimate way to stop Braun Breaker's spear? Or Roman Reigns' spear. You have someone just sit there and pound their chest for 20 minutes. And then they can't dive into you because they collapse from it. It's real.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised that Ludwig didn't go over as well, but I think that I think that with the hot potato that they've been doing with the Intercontinental title, they kind of got to leave it on Braun Breaker for a little while longer.
Then who takes it? Do you think eventually? You think when Sheamus takes it, he does take it from Breaker?
I could see Breaker versus Sheamus at WrestleMania for it, and Sheamus winning it there.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So we're thinking that Breaker's going to hold it till Mania.
It's the era of 6-month title reigns in a lot of cases. So
yeah, unfortunately.
Next matchup,
Championship.
Gunther defeats Damian Priest, and the internet is going crazy with this idea that they teased a Gunther face turn in this match.
Why? Because he kicked Finn?
Well, also because he started saying, I didn't want to win this way.
Yeah, true.
You know, like in fact, after like the commentary, if you really listen to it, Michael Cole and Corey Graves were talking about how Gunther really wanted a dominant win by himself because of the loss to Cody Rhodes. Now, at the same time,
didn't he? Because he won it from Damon.
He won it from Priest.
Yeah, he won it from Priest.
In a shape, not a shady way, or was it the?
Well, Finn Balor got involved in that one too.
Yeah,
and then the Cody, no, he beat somebody else too. But yes, so yeah, I can see where he's like starting to doubt himself.
I could now see Finn Balor walking out of like Royal Rumble from a triple threat match as the World Heavyweight Champion, because they do a triple threat between him, Damian, and Gunther.
I heard something different. I heard somebody's coming back as a face and it's going to face Gunther for that title. And if it does, I think he could take it from Gunther.
Do we have to smell what he's cooking?
No, fuck him. Drew McIntyre.
Okay. Well, you know what? Get revenge from Clash of the Castle. I mean, hey,
he keeps getting cheated.
I would think that if you want Drew McIntyre to come back as a babyface, you put him on SmackDown.
But I think he's the only one that can go against Gunther, because because Sheamus is chasing the Intercontinental Champion. Gunther, because it's Gunther, Drew, and Sheamus on Raw are the hardest hit. Remember, you just said if you want to get into a fight to have a match, you got to put Drew into that too, because Drew can take a point.
Well, yeah, because they obviously had the banger of the night at WrestleMania not too long ago. But let's also put CM Punk in there. You have to actually say he's a legitimate fighter now, because he is a former MMA guy.
I think he's too busy with Seth right now, and probably with Roman too.
I think you just hit something I wanted to talk about a little bit later. So I'm gonna put a pin in that one for you, Tino. Men's Survivor Series War Games match.
First of all, I'm trying to find it on YouTube. I'm gonna have to probably go and watch it. I think one of my favorite parts of that, the Key and Peele, when they do the Rob talks about when they do the football and I'm making up all the funny names.
Oh yeah.
When they did that, that was awesome.
Like
pretty cool.
Jimmy Uso, NYU, no Yeet University.
and then something's wrong with him.
Oh yeah, Tama Tonga. Oh, Tama Tonga's hilarious.
Yeah, but I think he's the only Samoan that's been dropped on his head so much that he's got a screw loose up there. Now,
speaking of getting dropped on your head, he did that damn bulldog onto the toolbox, and Jacob Fawkes just popped up.
Oh no,
it's so good, dude.
Yeah. I've seen him compete as far back as MLW. The dude is insanely good.
But he's the only one that's going back and doing that. Because remember, it's always the Samoans are supposed to have the hardest head. So when you headbutt them or you run their head into a turnbuckle, that's what's supposed to happen. So when he popped up after getting bulldogged on the toolbox, I'm like,
well, so it's not just him, because when Jey Uso got headbutted by Braun Breaker, he just went.
Yeah, sure did.
But what I'm saying is they're finally bringing that back.
Yes.
They've been gone for so long. They're finally bringing that that these Samoans have this hard head, and and nobody, and they can take headbutts, they can take shots to the head,
Yeah,
which I
because
didn't understand when he came in with the toolbox. He started knocking motherfuckers out, but he gets bulldog on the tool and then he pops up.
Well, because he was hitting them in the side of the head and the face. He wasn't hitting them in the top of the head, which is
Okay,
where all that power on that skull is for those Samoans. Like
and, and
I know
still,
I'm stretching it thin there. I know, but
I still can't wait for Jacob Fatu to break off on his own because this dude is phenomenal. And
yes.
what they say about Bray Wyatt when he was Husky Harris, he's got a Ferrari body, a Ferrari engine, and a tank body.
a tank body with
Jacob
a
Fatu,
Ferrari engine. Yeah,
Jake Fatu can go. He can move
Yes.
like a Vader, a Bam
Yeah.
Bam Bigelow.
he moves like Umaga.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
a thinner Umaga, but yeah, can fly, he has the power, the agility.
And he's
Like,
got the mic skills. He's got. They haven't let him really talk yet, but he's got. I've been watching him on other
Hold on.
YouTubes. Yeah, on YouTube, and when they use cutting promos, he can cut a promo. So that dude's got it all. If they let him go on his own, that's a future champion right there.
Right now, I've okay. Let's start with this. Did the
Okay.
right team go over in this match?
hmm Yeah,
You give it
because
to OG?
because the Bloodline 2.0 has been getting over on them every other time.
not
Yeah,
only
but
that, but when was the last time Roman lost 2 straight PLEs?
I mean, be about time he did.
Yeah,
But
but
I mean,
no, it was time for them to. It was time, and they
And
had to pay off the favor. They
and
had to
technically,
pay off the
Jason,
favor.
technically, he did lose his last 2 PLE matches before this one. Because he got pinned by Solo in that other match.
That's
And
what
he
I'm
got
saying.
pinned
So,
by Cody in the match before that at WrestleMania.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. They're not going to let them lose again. And like I said, they got to pay
wait,
off
for real?
that they got to pay off the. Yeah, Solo beat him in the last PLE. He pinned him. And they got to pay off the Punk thing. Punk helped them win. So now
Well,
Punk.
see,
Wait,
Punk
wait.
helping him win wasn't part of it. It was Punk just helping them by being in the match that he said, Paul owes me a favor. Now he just owes him a much bigger favor.
The right team went over.
I thought the last 2 PLEs were Crown Jewel and Bad Blood.
He can't hear you, but hold on. Hold on.
Hi, Jason.
Hey, how's it
He can't
going?
hear you. Oh,
I can
sorry.
Now can you
Yes.
hear us?
I just wanted to say hi to my friends.
Good to see you. But yeah, wasn't Crown Jewel and Bad Blood the last 2 PLEs?
So those are two PLE in order, but not the last 2 that Roman's been on.
He was on Bad Blood.
Yeah, but
Him
he
and
wasn't on,
Yeah,
What
yeah,
was he on
yeah,
Crown Jewel?
yeah,
Okay, so he still hasn't lost 2 in a row.
yeah. Because he teamed up with the Usos to take on the Bloodline.
Yeah, but they lost that match.
Yeah, but he didn't lose at Bad Blood. Him and Cody beat the Bloodline.
That is true.
So yeah, he hasn't lost 2 straight PLEs.
So all right. So Tino says that the right team went over. Jason saying the right team went over. I feel like the Bloodline 2.0 needed the full team victory here because I feel like they're kind of just being force fed, and they're not looking dominant, and yet they're trying to get the most dominant guy in WWE in the last 30 years to sit there and say, follow me. And he's like, why? We just keep beating you. We've beaten you 2 out of 3 times. Like, why would I follow you? Give me back my Ula Fala.
Mm.
True.
So that brings up a good question that Jason just that even Tino was talking about. What is the favor Punk gets from Heyman?
Oh yeah, as he was hugging Heyman.
Well, even what caused him to say he'd be part of the team.
Right.
What is the favor?
I think he probably either wants a match with Roman or he wants Roman help with Seth Rollins.
So I think because it is Roman's wise man that he might ask to have Roman in his corner for a match against Seth Rollins because that will throw Seth off his game.
Oh, good point. Because I mean, he pretty much hates Roman now. So yeah,
Well, Roman doesn't want Seth. Seth doesn't want to be with Roman.
right.
Punk and Roman now have that mutual respect thing from the middle of the Survivor Series match where Roman got saved by Punk and then actually helped him back up, you know?
Mhm.
And then and even though at the end of the match they still looked at each other and Punk was like, this is a one-time only thing, you know, like it's a one-time only thing until we do it again.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty
But
much.
but the favor, like I think that part of the favor is getting the match with Seth Rollins. Now, whether or not he gets bloodline help against Seth Rollins, I don't know if they're ready to do that with Punk yet because I think that makes Punk a heel.
I agree. I would agree. Hmm.
If he if he got bloodline help, or make
Yeah,
him a
OG,
heel.
even OG. I know that they're the good guys, but right now Jey Uso's buddies with Seth. Sammy's friends with Seth. So if you sit there and you have them come down in any way, shape, or form to help CM Punk win his match against Seth Rollins, whenever that may be, which I would still assume is the plan for WrestleMania, then you know it kind of puts them in the heel position there.
But what if Bronson comes down and they come down to chase him away and accidentally help him
Well,
win?
it
You know what I
definitely
mean?
looked like it definitely looked like Punk was setting up something with Bronson because of like
He mushed him.
the mush because that apparently was an audible. That was not called backstage.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, they
Which
said Punk got a little heat for that one.
Oh, damn.
which hopefully Bronson's okay.
Well, he hurt his foot during the match,
Right.
so it'll be interesting because Jimmy broke a toe, but
Right.
I thought
Bronson,
at first I thought what's his Simone Werf, I thought he was hurt at first. The way he fell, I mean it looked real the way he was holding his knee and he was limping, so but apparently I'm hoping it was just a work. I hope he's not hurt again.
well, I mean, even Punk was like hobbling on his way out,
Mhm.
you know, so now that I think was a work, but you know, with Punk, you never know.
True. That is
Like-
true.
Like he slipped off ropes and broke his ankle. Yeah. So, now, interestingly enough, you brought up Bronson Reed, Tino. I know he's not going to be on Raw tonight, but I wouldn't be surprised if they want to write him off TV, that they bring him out as part of the Bloodline 2.0 again on Friday night, and then have all of them beat him down.
Oh.
Why would they beat him down?
I mean, he's
Well,
the odd one out.
Because he's the one that really caused them to lose the match. Because they weren't working as a team until Bronson did that dive off the top, and then all of a sudden, like Punk and Roman were on the same page the rest of the match. You know, you had that, but you also have the fact that he's hurt. So you keep the Bloodline 2.0 strong by taking out someone who's been taking everybody else out.
Okay.
I feel it.
I like
I'm
it.
feeling it.
And then you accidentally backed yourself into a Solo Sikoa versus Bronson Reed match whenever you want it.
Or Bronson and Fatu. I'd rather see that one.
I mean, me
Ooh.
too, but
That would be awesome.
so I mean, like, but I think you back yourself into a quality matchup either way.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where I am on that. But the favor, the only other thing that I keep thinking of with the favor is that I could totally see it being if Punk's down to like the last 3 in the Royal Rumble, Heyman helps him somehow get somebody out of the Royal Rumble.
Mm.
You know, so it gives Punk that really close opportunity to win the Rumble. You know, because Punk wants to main event WrestleMania, and if The Rock's going to be there, The Rock is main eventing WrestleMania, maybe both nights again. So does Punk get himself into a match somehow with someone who's also facing The Rock? Does he, you know, like, but I think they know that their time is not necessarily limited with Punk, but you got to worry about his bump card.
True. That's a good point.
So, you guys ready to move on?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Let's talk about NXT. Tino didn't get to watch it. Jason, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Actually, I didn't watch anything last week. I didn't watch because I didn't watch NXT, Dynamite, SmackDown, and I didn't get to watch my damn Collision either. I was so pissed off.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Ethan Page had what I felt was his best match to date against Axiom in NXT.
Yep, qualified for Deadline.
Qualified for Iron Survivor. Lola Vice beat Ren Sinclair. I don't even know who Ren Sinclair is, but
yeah, she's with the Catch Crew.
No
That's
Quarter Catch Crew.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
Formerly Maddie Renkowski.
Yeah. That doesn't help me, Jason.
She's wrestled on AEW before.
Okay. North American champion Tony D'Angelo defeats Sean Spears, the chairman. So Spears actually attempted to get him with a figure 4 leg lock. That didn't work, you know, because the Don's been showing the bad knee for a while, but he ends up showing he can hit that huge spine buster to retain. Kalani Jordan gets beat by Julia in a qualifying match. I was a little surprised that this was a qualifying match for that. Like, I would have thought that with Kalani being where she was just a couple weeks ago as the United States or the North American champion, that she was going to have a better chance of winning this, or at least being in a different qualifying match so she could be in that match.
I thought the match was awesome. For her first time going up against Julia, I felt like she did awesome. I enjoyed the mess out of that match.
Yeah, she hit the brutal knee strike and then the Northern Lights bomb to clinch the victory. Mm-hmm. Fallon Henley defeated Tatum Paxley,
which brought back Gigi Dolan.
Yes, and Gigi Dolan made her return, and she looks just as crazy as ever, but in a good way.
Now, I did see. I think Eddie Thorpe was talking to Ava, and she got slammed in the door, and Shawn Michaels lost his mind.
Well, yes. So Eddie Thorpe put his hand on her, and she said, "Get your hand off of me!" And then someone else pushed the door shut, and she fell down. Yeah. And then like Eddie kind of went to like go check on her, and that's when he got pushed off by other people. And then Shawn Michaels came up and said, "You think it's okay to hit a woman?" You know, like, and then he shoved him up against the wall, and it was like, what, like Shawn Michaels has had one match in the last 12 years. And he has said he does not want to get back in the ring, but he wants to get a little physical here. Like, I'm used to him giving a super kick, but this was him literally getting in his face and pushing him away.
Well, I don't think he's going for a match. I think he's like, because if you think about it, him and Hunter, those are like their kids. I think what he was doing was just being protective. And I don't think he's trying to necessarily have a match. I think he was just like, you know, pick up, kid. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Shawn Michaels is probably, you know, let's just say that was real and it wasn't fake. Shawn Michaels probably sitting there going, "Hey, do you know who that kid is? Like you want The Rock to shut us down?"
Right. Especially with the role he has.
Exactly. So I mean, he can't.
That would be interesting though, because The Rock can still go. So if he takes down,
He's not going down to NXT
I
to
know.
beat up his daughter's assailant. Like if she
But
was on the main roster, that might be something.
he'll send
Yeah.
somebody down there.
He might. You know what? Hikulea.
Ricky Starks.
No, I was thinking one of the next. Speaking of Ricky Starks, I guess Jason, we can't see you do stuff like that, so you just look like you just look like you're burping off screen.
Yeah, we just saw your arm. We just saw your arm go up.
So Ricky Starks, by the way, just what, a week ago was on GCW railroading his time with AEW, and then the GCW guy sits there and talks shit about AEW. I don't know if you guys saw this. Talk shit about AEW, sitting there booking the same venue that GCW booked for 3 nights just to get some of the cheap popping that GCW is getting by going into the Hammerstein Ballroom, and then AEW books it for 3 nights. So he sits there and he's talking about stuff, and then Tony Khan claims that the reason why he pulled Ricky Starks from the GCW shows is because of what, I guess his name's Effie, the guy that runs GCW, what he said about Tony Khan running the same venue. But immediately after Ricky Starks gets pulled, Jon Moxley shows up on GCW.
Oh,
so my question now to you gentlemen, and I know I've got to say in Dynamite and Collision, but is it because Ricky Starks is working without a contract?
Well, what I heard was the update was that he is still under contract till summer of 2025.
Well, that's because of injury time. My question is whether or not Ricky Starks is arguing his injury time, because he has said that he's not hurt. So having time added to his contract should not be legal.
Right. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, especially if they were originally going to.
Because you guys both know. You both know that Penta is now officially a free agent as of today.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But also, I think Tony Khan's trying to keep people on the contracts for stuff like, was it Stephanie Bucker?
Well,
yeah.
No, you're absolutely right, because there has been talk that Tony Khan has now entered into his contracts. If you show up on AEW television, you can't show up on WWE for at least 30 days. And it might even be 90 days, because the WWE has 90-day layovers.
Right.
So I mean, like, it's pretty interesting. But then it always makes me laugh that Rob Van Dam shows up on both.
He could only wrestle on AEW, right?
Well, he did, but he actually did say that he's now saying there was a reason why he wasn't allowed to wrestle on NXT. And he's not saying that it was AEW related. But like 2 weeks before that, someone had interviewed him and he said, my contracts work really cool because I got a Legends contract with WWE, so I can sit there and do the Legends contract over there, but I'm not allowed to wrestle with them. I'm allowed to wrestle with AEW. So I don't know. Like, to me, it's just weird.
So it really sounds like it's like a case-by-case sort of thing.
It's whether or not people have offers from the WWE coming in is what it sounds like. And Tony Khan loves sitting there saying contract tampering and all this other bullshit when he's doing it too. Because there's no way he's not sitting there going, hey, he's not going, when does your contract end? Right. He's got someone doing it.
Got him.
I mean, hell, we talked about it a couple weeks ago that, WWE ID is now working with Cody Rhodes' Nightmare Factory, and QT Marshall works for that.
Yep, sure does.
So, I mean, there's all this weird shit going on, Dynamite results, just so you guys if you want to know. Jericho versus Ishii 2. Apparently, I think it happened, right?
Yeah.
Shelton Benjamin defeats Mark Briscoe in the Continental Classic Blue League to get 3 points. I love that they're pushing Shelton Benjamin as a force of nature like he should be.
Yes.
But you can't have your cake and eat it too in these cases, guys. Like you're trying to tell me that Mark Briscoe is also a force to be reckoned with, but then he gets beat in the first round of this thing against Shelton Benjamin.
Here's the thing with that.
But by the way, by a power slam.
Yeah, kind of similar to what he, which was kind of what he used to do, was kind of like T-bone power slam. But I will say this, being that this is a round robin tournament, now typically, there's a lot of these that happen.
People come back. I know.
Yeah, but like the craziest things, the craziest upsets, all of the above happen in round robin tournaments. So
Jericho defeats Ishii with the Judas effect. Actually, 2 Judas effects and a code breaker. Because obviously Ishii is the only person that's not a Samoan that has a head that's built like, out of bricks.
that's why he's the Stone Pitbull.
Ricochet versus Claudio Castagnoli in the Gold League. Claudio defeated Ricochet in an A- match. Ricochet refused to be counted out. Claudio put him out of his misery with a brutal clothesline. So he's now using a clothesline from hell as his finisher. Jamie Hayter versus Queen Aminata. Want to take a guess who won?
That would be Jamie Hayter.
Correct. Adam Page versus Wheeler Yuta was announced for Collision. Darby Allin versus Brody King. Why are they still doing this match?
I mean, they're in the same league, so it was inevitable, I guess.
Brody King defeats him. Oh, it's because Castagnoli came down and made it look like he was gonna. Yeah, it is what it is. So, I want to bring this up.
Did you skip over Collision?
Well, I didn't pull up the results for Collision.
Oh, okay. Anyway, go ahead.
You want me to?
No. It's okay. Because I haven't watched it yet.
Me neither. So that's why I was going to pull up the results. So Maria Kanellis had news this week where she had a lump on, I want to say it was her adenoid. I think I got it pulled up. Hold on. Let me look. It kind of like, I wasn't sure if this was new news or if this was old news, whatever the case might be. But it was as of today. Maria Kanellis Bennett needed to have a, I'm not reading all of that. Adrenalectomy in order to remove a mass that doctors found on her adrenal gland. So I was right. Found out that it was cancer free. So we just want to say we're glad to hear that for Maria Kanellis. It'd be nice to see her back on TV when she can be, but yes. Michael Turner also says glad she's cancer free. Chris Barrett says Collision's an irrelevant show. I think Tino does like Collision more than he likes Dynamite now. So I mean, anytime he wants to talk about it, I'll let him. Other than that, guys, Tino wanted this show over in an hour and 30, and we only have one other thing to talk about. And
yeah.
Listen, you sounded like Otis. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So all right, we have 4 triple threat matches to give us our semifinals, and then the finals will obviously be the winners of the singles matches. So this starts tonight. So I'm going to ask you guys. We're going to take top left, top right, bottom right. Cool.
Yep.
Does it count that I actually know one of them, or just
Jason? I told you we're not watching Raw while we're on the show.
I'm sorry.
So you know what? Tell me which one you know out of the give me the 3 people, and you can't answer that one.
Okay. So, so my guess for
No, I don't want your guess for it. Like I want to know the one that you already know the answer to, and Tino and I will give our guess on that one.
Yeah, don't tell us the answer. Which match did you see? Don't tell us who won.
Top left.
Okay. So
I'm saying
Tino,
I'm going with Katana Chance.
that's an interesting choice there. I'm gonna go with Shayna Baszler. So
All
Jason, leave your mouth closed on that one. Bottom left, we got Zoe Stark, Raquel Rodriguez, and Caden Carter.
I think I'm gonna go with Raquel because, like you said, they're for some reason Triple H likes her, so he's pushing her. So I think she wins that one.
I agree with you. I think Raquel on that one. Jason?
I'm gonna be rooting for Zoe Stark because that's one of my girls, but I have to agree. It's gonna go to Raquel.
Okay. Lyra Valkyria, Zelina Vega, and Ivy Nile. Ooh. So I don't think Zelina Vega has a chance.
I'm going with Lyra.
You know what? I'll go a little bit different just because I want someone different. I will go with Ivy Nile.
Well, Lyra was getting ready to have a push, but it got stunted because she got hurt.
Right.
So that's why I'm going with Lyra.
I thought it was because she got married.
She also got hurt too.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Alba Fire, Kairi Sane, and Natalia.
Kairi. Easy. Simple.
Tina's getting ready to throw something.
I'm gonna go Natty. I'm gonna go Natty.
I don't like when you've got tag team wrestlers in these, so it makes it harder to sit there and want to pick someone like an Alba Fire. Kairi Sane, I think that they've pushed as much as they really can, but she does have Damage Control behind her. But yeah, at least for the next round, Tino, I'm with you. I go Natalia.
I think that because Cargill is hurt, I almost want to say that the Damage Control might get those belts back, either Damage Control or Piper and Chelsea. But because Cargill is hurt, that's why I think Kyrie is going to stay. I think probably Kyrie and Dakota because Io has her world title shot.
All right, so let's do this again. Jason can't say his top left. So I said Shayna Baszler. You said Shayna Baszler.
No, I said Katana.
Oh, you said Katana Chance, right? We both said Raquel Rodriguez. He said Zoe. Oh, you said Raquel as well, didn't you, Jason?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Up here, you both went Lyra Valkyria. I went Ivy Nile.
Mm-hmm.
And then down here, we have Jason going Kairi Sane and Tino and I going with Natalia.
Yep.
I will say that there are a lot of names on there that are definitely worthy of being the first women's intercontinental champion.
It depends on how they want to broadcast that championship, right? Like if they want it to really come across as like a top end championship right off the bat, you kind of want to go with something like Shayna Baszler versus Natalia in the finals because you can really talk about like their accolades, you know, and how much they've actually meant in the WWE already, right? You have the first 2-time NXT Women's Champion with Shayna Baszler. You've got like the boat, as she likes to call herself, Natalia. You know, but at the same time, you also have your Lyra Valkyrias who beat Becky Lynch for the NXT Championship. You've got Kairi Sane, who was an NXT champion. You've got Raquel Rodriguez, who beat Rhea Ripley for that championship. So I mean, you've got all of these really good names, like you said, Jason. The thing is that like some of these people we really haven't seen a lot from in a long time. So, like,
True.
I'm hoping that the reason why we're getting this Women's Intercontinental Championship isn't just to put another title on somebody that we don't see very often, but it's because they plan to go to 3-hour shows on Netflix and SmackDown on USA. And when they do that, they actually give the women's matches more time to breathe, so that way, like, you know, a Natalya, if they really wanted to, if they really, really wanted to push her, she could be a Gunther on the women's side. You know, Shayna Baszler is a Gunther on the women's side, the way that she was for the first year and a half that she was in NXT. So
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's just weird because so many of them have been booked badly in this tournament, like before this tournament, that like it's hard to say who you really think is going to win these matches because none of them really are being pushed at the moment.
If I were to pick, honestly, in my heart, I think the one who needs it the most, like the absolute most out of everybody in this tournament, Shayna. And I say that because this was somebody that once wrecked everybody in an elimination chamber. And then, of course, fell to Becky Lynch. And it's like, ever since then, multiple time tag champ. And it's like, when was the last time we even got a sniff or a taste of NXT Shayna Baszler?
Well,
I mean,
and
oh,
I
yeah.
agree with you, Jason. I agree. I think that when you actually look at this, and again, I say the same thing about Natalya. Natalya obviously was in the finals for the very first NXT Women's Championship, right? So you have all that prestige and everything there. That's why like finals wise, I would love to see a Natalya versus Shayna Baszler match again. But I want to see it be a no one else is allowed at ringside. It's just going to be the two of them. And the winner goes on like a 6-month run with this Intercontinental Championship. But I do want to see them defending it on a regular basis.
Yes.
Now Natty being the first champion, definitely not a bad idea. I mean, especially,
It's instant prestige.
Yeah, absolutely. And see, other name. I mean, when was the last time Kairi Sane even had a singles title shot since coming to the main roster? And there's
I don't
a
know.
lot.
Actually.
Well, Io's bigger than Kyrie, really. You know what I mean?
Well, that's because Kyrie left and came back.
True. But when you think about it, they've had similar accolades in NXT. Io had just a few more, but out like Alba Fire. Alba Fire's been NXT UK Women's Champion. Had her long reign. Despite it being during the pandemic. Dakota Kai. I feel like she's been in tag team purgatory most of her career. So like, there's a lot of names on here. That's just like, I like the list. I definitely like the list. This is a good list. So I just really feel like there's certain names that I think really could use this the most, just being, with their time on the main roster, plus, going back to Shayna.
Well, while I agree with you, and even with Shayna, like the problem that you run into with her is that right now she's been a tag team partner of Zoe Starks for so long, so I could totally see it being Shayna versus Zoe, and they end up having that like turmoil between their own tag team. But at the same time, like my problem with these matches is that when those competitors are looked at more as like tag team competitors, I don't give them as much of a chance to win because they need a tag team partner to win their matches most times.
And also the fact that these are starting off as triple threat matches instead of singles elimination.
Well, they did that with the women's United States title matches too. So
yeah,
so
exactly.
So I think it was Triple H's way to get 12 women into the matches to begin with, and then go from there. Because otherwise you got to go 16 women if you want to have four. You know what I mean? You gotta keep it at a certain level to be able to break it down the way that you want. I'm just wondering whether or not we're going to get the finals before or after Christmas, because right now I would say that we get it on the first episode of the January 6th Netflix.
That's
Oh.
probably when it's going to happen. That's how it's going to culminate there. You know that.
Yeah, because I was kind of wondering when they would do the finals for both, especially both being on separate brands. Like I was thinking maybe one at the end of this year and one to open
Well,
up.
no, the SmackDown one, that was going to be on the Saturday night's main event. They started this one out later,
Oh,
and I
so
think they planned it that way so it would end up in that first Raw on Netflix.
okay, so that did get confirmed. Gotcha.
Yeah, that was something Tino and I had talked about, and he was like, "Do you think they're going to announce one?" I was like, "Yeah, and they're going to plan for it to end when they go to Netflix." So it just, obviously with the holidays coming up, Triple H is probably going to put on a best of show, and he's probably going to put on, like the Slammy Awards or whatever. Oh wait, no, the Slammies they now do WrestleMania weekend, but
And they still got to do tribute to the troops.
Yep, good call.
I'm kind of surprised that's not an NBC special, but like the thing that's been really good since Triple H has taken over is he gives them a lot of family time at holidays. So I mean they might tape 2 shows, but even with that, they might only do 2 of them tonight, 2 of them next week, one of the next rounds, and then finally do the finals on the first Netflix show. And that's how I would do it. And in fact, I would make it, it might not be the main event of the first Netflix show. You could start the show with it. You could put it at the end of the first hour, put it at the end of the second hour, maybe put it at the end of the third hour. I don't know. Like it's because that show's going to be stacked.
Why not put it at the top of an hour?
Well, that's a good question, Tino. And all I can say to that is that when it goes to Netflix, I don't know what their plan is going to be because you don't necessarily have to plan out your hours the same way anymore.
That's true.
Oh, I had to throw this out there, but it is official. Io Sky has wrestled over 1,000 career matches.
Okay. I mean, that's a cool feat.
Oh, come on. She's the genius of the Sky. She's Io Sky.
She looks like she's drunker than me when I'm doing this show.
That's impossible.
Yeah, that is impossible. That is impossible. Nobody's drunker than you when you're doing this show.
Dude, I've had 2 drinks. I've really
on
cut
the
it
show.
down. Yeah, I didn't have one before this.
Oh.
Interesting.
Okay. Right.
Really?
That's what
I don't sound like I've been drinking all night. Anyways.
No, not tonight. You did good tonight.
Real quick, I just want to go ahead and throw that up there like I always do until we actually have the issues in the store. And obviously, Died Hard #1 in stores next Wednesday. So not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. I'll be signing at Triangle Town Center's Fight or Flight Comics. I'll be there from 11 to 4. On top of that, #2 can be ordered at your local comic shop right now. Comes out on February 12th. Jason, the really cool thing about how I set this up, apparently, is that the first issue comes out right before Christmas. Second issue comes out right before Valentine's Day. Third issue comes out right before Easter. So my story about the Easter Bunny stopping a hostage situation hits 3 holidays on its way to getting released. And once again, there are stupid cool covers, like our metal covers. They're actually aluminum covers.
Nice.
That is nice.
Yeah, I could hit you with a steel comic. But just wanted to give that little shout out. Let them know that yes, once again, next Wednesday I'll be at that shop, and then next Saturday I will be in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Tino will be having his annual Christmas party. Everyone's invited. I'm kidding. You have to figure out where he lives. They don't know where you live. They
Got him.
don't know where you live.
I'm gonna call what you just said.
Oh, he about to get it.
Well, Jason, you're probably invited to the Christmas party.
Yeah, I hadn't seen out the e-bikes yet, but yeah, Jason's getting one.
Yeah. So,
Cool.
but yeah. Anyways, Tino. Well, Jason, why don't you tell everybody how they can find you?
So you can find all my channels if you go to linktr.ee/blitzballchampgaming. I have there my YouTube, X, Blitzball Champ Gaming on Facebook, as well as my Twitch. So check it out. linktr.ee/blitzballchampgaming.
So Linktree.
Yes.
Okay. The way that you said it, I was like, "What the hell is he talking about?"
That's how the URL is displayed. So
Tino, your turn.
You can find me. I'm not on X anymore, so you can find me on the Snapchat, SC Tino. I'm on the Insta SC Tino. I am on what is that? I am on TikTok, Tino R. Gray Music. You can find us here on the Pots and Pan Network every Monday. We are on X, Potsy and Tino, Facebook, Potsy and Tino Show.
Blue Sky.
As always, we want to say thank you. Oh yeah, Blue Sky. I can never remember my handle on Blue Sky. It's Blue Sky. And we want to say, as always, thank you to Adams Past Cat for the wrestling song. You can find it on iTunes for 99 cents. 99 Jones.
Sorry, I started laughing because you were saying 99 Jones and I was mouthing it the whole time. I was like, you can find me on X at Potchak. You can find me on Instagram at Rob Potchak and Rob Potsy Potchak. You can find me on TikTok at Rob Potsy Potchak, YouTube Rob Potchak, where we are right now, Twitch Rob Potsy Potchak, and Blue Sky Rob Potsy Potchak. So you can find me on all of those. I got a book on Amazon. You can go ahead and buy it now. It's called "Are You Sure You Want to Make Comics?" And apparently there are people talking about like how to make comics out there. So anyways, folks, if you got to celebrate your holiday, we hope you had a great one. If you didn't, we hope you get to spend the next one with family, friends, whoever you want to. Tell everybody you love them when you see them. And that's about all I got. So I think we're going out with the SmackDown Tag Team Champions tonight. Gentlemen, wonderful having you on the show. We'll see everybody next week. Where did it go? It disappeared. Oh, there it is.
I don't know what you did with it.
Here it goes.
That might be snatched.
Ready? Ownership and Chickens in the Potsy and Tino.
For the Potsy and Tino Show.
Thanks for watching.